Reading from the Holy Gospel according the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. Philip found Nathanael and said to him, "We have found the one Moses wrote about in the law, the one about whom the prophets wrote. He is Jesus, son of Joseph, from Nazareth." "From Nazareth?" said Nathanael. "Can anything come from that place? Come and see," replied Philip. When Jesus saw Nathanael coming, he said to him, "Here is an Israelite who deserves the name incapable of deceit." "How do you know me?" said Nathanael. "Before Philip came to call you," said Jesus, "I saw you under the fig tree." Nathanael answered, "Rabbi, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." Jesus replied, "You believe that just because I said I saw you under the fig tree? You will see greater things than that." And then he added, "I tell you most solemnly, you will see heaven laid open, and above the Son of Man, the angel of God ascending and descending." The Gospel of the Lord. Do you know anybody capable of deceit? Huh? Take a while to think. When you say of this person, is it this person? This person is incapable of deceit, of duplicity, of hypocrisy. That what you see is what you get. That their words, their intentions, and their actions are in sync. Do you know anybody like that? Huh? When you find them, let me too know so that I can come and do homage as well. I know it's very difficult, because in a sense, we all struggle along that path. To be true to who we are and to be true to what our heart and our words, to bring together our heart and our words and our actions. That's what integrity means. Integrity is when our heart, our actions, our intentions operate as one. And so they're not duplicity means two or more, but they're just one. And therefore, our intentions and our actions and our words are what is meant to be. And so Jesus sees Nathanael. But wait, Nathanael, but today we celebrate the feast of Saint Bartolomew. How did Nathanael come in that? Huh? Well, if you remember the 12 disciples, I hope you do, you recognize that Nathanael is mentioned in John's Gospel, but in the synoptics, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, Bartolomew is mentioned. Bartholomew is a surname. Bartholomew is a son, Bar means the son in Israel, Bar son of Jonah. So Bartholomew is the son of, so it's a surname, where Nathanael is the first name. And so Philip and Nathanael are always mentioned together in Matthew chapter 10, where Matthew lists the 12 disciples. But I will not go there this morning. This is a good morning. I want to remain happy this morning. So I will not go there trying to list the 12 disciples. So Nathanael and Bartholomew are the same person. So when Jesus refers to Nathanael, he's referring to Bartholomew. Okay, so the number of disciples will remain as 12. And Nathanael comes to encounter Philip, tells, "Hey boy, I think I found the Messiah. And he's from Nazareth, or he's from Bartolomew. I found the Messiah from Bartolomew." Imagine that. Can anything good come from there? Can anything good come from there? Part of the problem that as Christians we have is that we very often limit the spaces where God can work. And that too is part of the hypocrisy. That too is part of the lack of integrity. When we profess to know where God's grace is able to work and where it is not, where God is and where God is not, where God's love can be seen and displayed and where it is not, we tend to be gatekeepers. Thankfully, Bartolomew was open enough to recognize that God's grace can be found anywhere. And he took the invitation up from Philip, come and see. Come and see. Come and see and witness for yourself. Come and see. The invitation to come and see offers a first-hand witness. Witness is the word that is given for martyr. A first-hand witness of who Jesus is. Come and see for yourself. Don't take my word for it. See, my dear friends, as we lead people to Christ, arguments are usually the least possible way to convince a person of who Christ is. The invitation must be to them to come and meet Christ yourself. Come and see, come and visit, come and encounter. Very few people are won across by arguments. They really benefit very few. What is needed is an openness of heart. In spite of the prejudice that Nathanael had against Nazareth, he was still open to come and see and experience. To come and see and encounter Christ. And having came, and Jesus says, Nathanael, I saw you while you were under the fig tree. Is there an Israelite of no deceit, of no deception? Psalm 32, verse 2, the prophet Isaiah, verse chapter 53. There is an Israelite of no deceit. And that's a very high honor that Jesus pays to Bartholomew. And Bartholomew is immediately shocked. How do you know me? What's my name to you? How do you know me? I never met you before. And Jesus says, you think you believe just because I tell you what that victory? Wait and see. You would see the Son of Man rise coming down from heaven. You would see greater things. If you only believe. What's the difference? The difference is the encounter. The difference is the encounter with Christ. The difference is the invitation, come and see. Come and see for yourself. Don't just listen to hearsay. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. Come and see and encounter. Come and see and encounter Christ, that you might have life and have it abundantly. The invitation to come and see caused Bartholomew to end with death. Because he became not only a disciple, but also an apostle. And in his life, he was sent to India, where he bore witness to Christ. And he was killed. He was flayed. You know what that means? He was skinned alive. And then a statue of Bartholomew, you'd see him holding his skin on his arms like this, and his skin is over his wrist. He was skinned alive because he came and seen. He came and saw Christ and believed and bore witness to Christ with his life and brought many in India to Christ. My dear friends, today we celebrate Bartholomew, Nathanael. We celebrate one who bore great witness to Christ. One who was radically open to the ways in which the grace of God is ever present, and to the places where God's grace can surprise us. This morning, let us open our hearts to God and to God's grace. Let's not put limits on God this morning. Let's not limit God's power to act in any particular place. Let's not limit God's power to act upon any particular person. You say, oh, this one lost and that one can't come back and that's the end. No limits this morning. No limits this morning. This morning, let us allow God to be God. Let us allow God to be God. And Jesus said, you might be surprised. You might be surprised that you would not see great things if you allow God to be God. If you will not allow God to be God, you would be surprised to see angels ascending and descending. You would be surprised to see the power of God at work. You would be surprised to see what God can do in the places that He can do it and upon the people that He can do it. You may be surprised if you only allow God to be God. Allow Him to be God. Don't put any limits on it. With a pure heart and a contrite spirit, let us indeed seek to find the ways of God in our lives. Like Bartolomew, we celebrate today God's grace, God's mercy, and God's love in one who had a single-hearted devotion to Christ, and whose desire to find the Messiah and to follow the Messiah enabled him with the grace that he became one of the greatest witnesses of Christ and His church. May we in our hearts as well allow the grace of God to ever be present, to transform us and to make us witnesses by simply inviting someone today, come and see what the Lord is capable of doing. Anywhere, to anyone, and by any means.